Hello guys and welcome to this week's video where I'll be making the Playful puppy ears in real life. But right before I do that, I want you guys to look at this. Basically, half the people who watch me depend on the YouTube algorithm to show them my videos. Like, imagine missing out on a really good video just because YouTube didn't recommend it to you. Please subscribe and I'll make a tutorial on the phone. Okay, now you're hopefully subscribed, let's roll the footage. Of course, all these videos start with making a rough template and then cutting them out. Then using said template to cut out the fabric. I'm using scrap fabric I saved from another cosplay and cut 4 pieces of this shape out. And for any beginner sewers out there, remember to leave your seam allowance, else you'll end up with something an entire size smaller than what your pattern was. Once I had them all cut out, I just laid 2 on top of each other, like so. Then I just sewed them by hand. I only sewed around the sides and the top, leaving the bottom of the ear open so I'd be able to flip it inside out later. After that was done, I just kind of cleaned the seams up a little bit, and then flipped it inside out, and then kind of rubbed at the seams to make sure it had fully flipped inside out. Then I of course did the same thing to the other ear. Then the next step was to add a bit of wire into the inside of the ears so I could form them into the shape they have in game. So I just loosely measured the wire by bending it into shape and cutting it, then just putting it inside of the ear. After that I did a running back stitch up the middle of the ears with the wire inside still, and I did the same with the other ear. And you can see that they bend like that. Taking some scrap velvet fabric, I used a template from earlier, which this time I of course don't include seam allowance on and cut slightly smaller than the chalk outline. I also only needed to make 2 of these. Now, when it came to actually sewing on the inside of the ears, I opted for embroidery thread, and I don't know what the word for this stitch is. Yeah, you can tell I'm self-taught in sewing. And although this looks alright sped up, I can tell you now that sewing with embroidery thread on fleece fabric is pretty difficult to do because the fabric just kind of stretches. The velvet fabric doesn't help either. And after probably 10 minutes of struggling to sew them, both were done and could be bent into shape like so. Moving on to how they were going to attach to my head, I grabbed some clips, and I don't really know what happened with this step of making the ears, but I kinda just mindlessly wrapped the wire around the clip and called it a day. Like, I didn't even sew up the bottom of the ears or anything. I don't know, but I'll probably go back and sort it out at a later date. And the last thing to do was the bows. It took me a few tries to figure out how to make a bow without having the ribbon already tied to something, but once I did it, it was quick to do. Then I sewed them onto the back of the ears and got to curling the ribbon, which took some time to do since the ribbon didn't want to curl, weirdly enough. I snipped the ends into shape and set it on fire, quite literally. And yeah, I just kept trying to make the ribbon curl, but for some reason these pieces just really did not want to, and I'm not sure why, because, you know, I've curled this ribbon before with the exact same pair of scissors and it's worked. But anyway, it's final reveal time, and just a quick note, I styled this wig in about 5 minutes whilst it was on my head, so it's not the greatest. And next time I wear these puppy ears, I'll most likely swap them around so that the sticky up bit on the clips aren't up on the top of my head, but rather down where the pigtails are. But yeah, for an item that took me maybe 3 hours maximum to make, I think these look pretty good. And since I have a complete Darling Valentina set now, I'm sure you can probably guess what next week's video will be. Hint hint. But yeah, don't forget to leave a like, leave a comment, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. You wouldn't want to miss next weekend's premiere. And here's this week's fan art. I'm going to try and remember to feature fan art again at the end of my videos, so if you want yours to be featured too, just send it in my Discord server or on social media. And a huge thank you to my current channel members as well. I've been doing my best to give them exclusive sneak peeks to upcoming projects and videos. And I just want to get it out there that I now have a second channel where I post all of my in-game videos, and I'm posting daily to that, which is why the upload schedule on this channel is going back down to mostly weekend uploads now. So if you don't want to miss out on all the content I'm making, make sure you go subscribe to that channel. But anyway, thank you for watching this week's video, and I hope you're excited for the one that's going up next weekend. So I'll see you then, or I'll see you on the gaming channel.